Hello and welcome everybody to Game 2 of Nerchio versus Polt from the GIGABYTE Cup. Spawning here in the bottom right position of Shakuras Plateau as the blue Terran, we have Polt. Just a quick note, Polt is from TSL, that's right. That also known as Team SCV Life. Yes, Polt is from TSL, very good Korean team. His opponent today spawning in the bottom left position as the red Zerg. Playing from Team Acer, we have Nerchio. Now, Polt was able to take a win in Game 1 with just endless aggression on Shakuras Plateau, so the map pick, of course, did go to Nerchio, who chose Shakuras Plateau for his Game 2 match. Now, I really like this choice from Nerchio. This is a very balanced map, but the thing that's much easier about this map for Zerg players is that taking expansions is much easier. It's much easier to secure your natural expansion because you only have this one small ramp to defend, and then you defend both your main and your natural as well. Your third is also farther away from your opponent. It's a little farther away from your opponent. You want, as a Zerg player, you constantly want to be expanding away from your opponent. As a Terran or a Protoss, you generally want to expand towards your opponent. You want to take this base, you want to take this base, and then you want to take this forward base very commonly. Why? Because this is a base that's closer to your opponent. Why? So that you can stick your big, fat, huge, strong army out here in the middle of the map, and you are simultaneously defending your base and putting pressure on your opponent's forward bases if he decides to take them. Now, Zerg players, on the other hand, Zerg players are all about utilizing their mobility advantage, and they're all about trying to get up that early economy. This is the typical way that Zerg is played. I don't want to say that this is how all Zergs play, because there are Zergs that like to play on fewer bases, but like to be a little bit more aggressive. But the way Zerg players generally play right now in the current metagame is Zerg players like to stay very far away from their opponent. They take expansions that are farther and farther away from their opponent, and then start going for lots of big attacks on their opponents. Counterattacks are huge for Zerg, but also because of that mobility advantage, in general, Zerg units are faster than most Terran and Protoss units, so it means that they can be attacking, and then if they start to get attacked, they can pull back, and they get that creep advantage from moving on creep, and they can defend all their bases back home. It can be very powerful. Now, Nerchio did get a good scout on his opponent right now, did get in there, see the gas guys are going down, even saw this command center going down right now, I believe. Yeah, there we go. He did see the command center constructing, so he knows his opponent going to be taking that very fast command center, and I would not at all be surprised to see Nerchio take a fast third after seeing that. We do have some drones now being transferred down to the natural expansion. We do have one gas geyser up here for Nerchio, and the spawning pool is now up. Notice this time he does have 3 guys in gas geysers, so he's going to be getting up a little bit earlier of Zergling speed as he did in the previous game. In the previous game, I don't think he got his Zergling speed until about the 6-minute mark, or maybe even the 6:15 mark, which was a pretty late Zergling speed, but I think this game, just because we've got that 3 guys on gas, whether it was an accident in Game 1 or not, he's going to be getting up a much faster Zergling speed this time around. In the meantime, he's continuing to drone up and actually pulling all guys off of gas, but there we go, Zergling speed now popping down at about the 4-minute and 40-second mark. That is about a normally timed Zergling speed there for a fast expanding Zerg. Now we do see Polt is now going to be building one more factory, and he's going to be adding a reactor onto this barracks, so it looks like we are going to be seeing some Hellion play here out of Polt as he applies some pressure with those Hellions and then plops down this orbital command at his natural expansion. So far still only one guy mining gas. There is one SCV in the main of Nerchio right now trying to get a read on his opponent, trying to see what his opponent is doing. So far it is completely standard in the base of Nerchio, nothing out of the ordinary so far. Oh, looks like that SCV is going to be picked off though, and Nerchio goes right back on to mining. Zergling speed is now on the way. Polt is going to know that as well, because for those of you that didn't notice, this thing actually like undulates, and you can actually see the water moving and things when it's actually upgrading. A lot of people don't assume that Zergling structures you just can't tell when they're upgrading, but you actually can. If you look at them closely, then you will actually see signs of upgrading. Just like how on Terran buildings, if the reactor, or not a reactor, or if a tech lab is upgrading, you will see it lighting up and glowing, and there we go, third expansion now going down here for Nerchio. He is spreading out some of his overlords. He has one in position to scout for drops, as well as poke in if he wants to get some good scouting information at any time on his opponent and try to see the tech structures that his opponent is going for. Really like that from Nerchio. In the meantime, still no gas being taken as he is going strictly for economy right now. If we check out the Harvester tab, 37 workers to 30 right now. Nerchio is way up in harvesters, and a roach warren now being thrown down here, as he does know that these Hellions are going to be on the way, since he did see that Hellion, or he did see the factory going down, as well as the gas guys are coming down. So it looks like some Zerglings now on the field getting into position right now. He's trying to place them in a good position and scout for any kind of Hellions just sitting out in the middle of the map. Oh, and it looks like he's going to be going for a bit of a counterattack here. These Hellions now being forced to pull back. Did they actually see this expansion? Yes, they did poke in, see the expansion. And no, they are not actually going to be going back, but these Zerglings are going to get into the natural expansion and start to do a lot of damage here. In the meantime, these Hellions trying to poke in at the front, but there is one queen there that's denying a lot of information from Polt. But oh man, these SCVs actually, or these Lings rather, starting to deal a lot of damage. If you check out the workers killed count, 7 workers killed so far here for Nerchio. So far this has been an excellent trade here for Nerchio, getting those workers. If we check out the harvester tab, Nerchio is still up 37 to 31 harvesters, and now his third base is going to be up and running very soon. Lair just now being started here by Nerchio as he takes his second, third, and fourth gas geysers. And we do have one evolution chamber currently down. I don't see a second one coming up quite yet for Nerchio, so it looks like it is only going to be one upgrade at a time, as opposed to the previous game where he did go for that double evolution chamber. The Hellion count is getting very, very high here for Polt, though, as he's continuing to produce Hellions. Looks like he has just now stopped producing Hellions in favor of swapping a barracks onto that reactor. 3 more barracks are going down in total, as well as the engineering bay, which is now researching that infantry armor level 1. We do currently have infantry weapons level 1 coming up on the way as well here for Polt. But now Polt also just going for economy-based play right now. Only 2 gas geysers mining right now, still focusing on getting fully saturated on minerals before focusing on those gas geysers. This is to get up a lot of these early mineral-heavy units like Hellions, and lots of Marines off of these reactor the reactor barracks. Stim currently on the way for Polt right now. We do see combat shield and concussive shells not yet being started. Definitely expect to see a combat shield here coming up very soon, but it looks like Nerchio has been getting up a lot of roaches. We do see +1 Zerg ground carapace on the way, as well as Glial reconstitution for Nerchio, and he is now moving out to clear the Xel'Naga watchtowers. Might even choose to get a little bit aggressive here, as his roach count is very, very high. Continuing to aggressively spread creep. I absolutely love this from Nerchio. He has one queen that is constantly just dedicated to spreading creep, and look at how low its energy is. Constantly throwing down creep tumors all over the place, getting a lot of good creep spread and vision all over the map. For those of you that don't know, creep actually, not only does it provide you with a surface which your units will walk faster on, but it actually provides you with vision as well. So it is just like having map hacks. You can just know what's going on all over the map at all times. So this is of course important for a Terran to always be clearing that creep back. Always want to be sending out small groups of Marines and or Hellions to get out and clear some of that creep back, just because it'll be really, really annoying. A lot of Zerg players, once you clear out their creep once, they will not replenish it, just because they'll figure, what the hell, it's too much work. Now we do have this, the second evolution chamber is now down here for Nerchio. We do have +1 melee attack being started. Infestation pit is down as well. We currently have pathogen glands coming now on the way here for Nerchio, so it looks like infestors are going to be the name of the game, and he's now going to start to poke in with a lot of roaches here, and he's going to start to focus down this third command center that Polt has decided to try and take, but he's got a lot of Marines and Marauders here to be able to take these units down. We do currently have +1 Marine Marauders. Combat shield is currently on the way. More Marines and Marauders being produced, as well as +2 upgrades for all ground forces of Polt. And oh, it looks like Nerchio is going to be going for a big counterattack here, as he's going to be attacking the ramp, and all these units are kind of out of position right now to be able to defend this, and it looks like they are going to be able to pull back in time to be able to deal damage here. But Nerchio is way ahead in the food count, currently sitting at 140 food to the 107 of Polt, and now he's actually retreating. I don't know about this retreat path from Nerchio. He's going to be stuck up in this little base here with nowhere to escape to. There is nowhere to go, but he is sending in some Zerglings to try to save his Roach force here. Oh, and he might actually be able to defeat this force once those Lings are in here. And here come the Lings. They are going to start to get a good surround on that Marine Marauder force, and I think Nerchio might actually clean this attack up. No, looks like Polt is going to be able to pick those units up and pull back rather quickly to his main. Really, really like that. Fourth base now up here for Nerchio. We see lots of roaches and lings being produced right now, as well as a few infestors are now going to be out on the field. We see 4 infestors, and oh my god, these roaches are still stuck up in this upper base, and it looks like Polt is really determined to make sure those roaches do not escape at all. He's bringing up another group of Marine Marauder, and what is Nerchio going to do? He's way out of position to be able to do anything right now. These roaches are completely stuck in a corner, but the infestors are coming in, and they're going to get a fungal growth on all of those Marine Marauder. Unbelievable play there from Nerchio. That was amazing, you guys. I did not expect that at all. Those were beautiful fungal growths. Was able to save most of his infestors there. Didn't save any of his roaches, but man, considering he lost all his roaches, he actually did some good damage to his opponent there. Wasn't really willing to completely give up on those roaches and was able to force his opponent to take a lot of damage. Now look at his medevac energy as well. Not only did he get a bunch of units, but his medevac energy is also very low from healing up the rest of those units. We do currently see a big roach infestor force now coming in here for Nerchio, plus 2 Carapace is on the way right now. All these roaches are currently 0-1 in upgrades. The lings are all 1-1 in upgrades, and infested Terran Marines are going down now, and it looks like Nerchio might actually break the front of Polt right now. Bunker is going to go down. All the Marine Marauders are going down very quickly here. Not enough siege tanks here at the front. There is still 1 bunker here, but Nerchio doesn't care. He is moving in with everything he's got. So many roaches continuing to stream in. More and more lings. 50 lings currently on the production tab. We see Hive Tech has just been started here for Nerchio, so not only is he applying this aggression, but he's teching up behind it as well. This is brilliant play here from Nerchio. As we can see now, denying that third base. So many lings now coming across the field, more infestors coming across the field as well. Fungal growths going down on all those Marines and Marauders, and I think Nerchio is going to be getting ready to clean up this attack. I love this from Nerchio, continuing to upgrade. He knows he's in a good position right now, so he wants to guarantee a win later on, so he's going for a Spire Tech back home right now, as well as +2 melee attacks and +2 ground carapace. He's now pushing into the natural though, and I think this is going to be GG from Polt. Polt does have 1 factory producing siege tanks and lots of barracks producing units as quick as he can to try to replenish this, but so many Zerglings continuing to stream across the map. Nerchio now taking his 5th and 6th bases as well. Looks like he is now going to be pulling back a little bit, but I cannot see Polt coming back from this. Nerchio currently 100 food ahead of his opponent right now. 81 harvesters to 27. Nerchio is in such a huge lead right now. Going to be taking his time poking into these bases, making sure that no other expansions are up. He does have 1 Zergling in position to scout this orbital command, so he knows that that is going down. And in the meantime, he's continuing to just rally more units to the middle of the map. Prodigy, or aka Polt, doing the best he can to try to get up more force, and he's actually remaxing very quickly, or not maxing, but he's actually replenishing his army very quickly. I'm actually surprised at how fast he is doing that considering his economy right now, but I don't think he's going to have quite enough to hold this off. This is such a huge army from Nerchio, and here comes the final engagement as all the forces of Nerchio are going to move in. Fungal growth going down all over all of those units, and he is now just going to move up into the natural expansion, and we are going to see a GG here out of Polt very soon. Oh no, Polt managed to load up some of his units here, but fungal growth's going down all over those medevacs, and those medevacs are going to fall so quickly. There we go, they do finally get picked off, and now Nerchio just moving into the main. Infested Terran Marines going down all over everything, and that, I think, is going to signal the end of this game. 190 food to 40 for Nerchio, taking game 2 of this series, tying it up 1-1, pushing it to game 3 to see who is going to be taking this best of 3. Will it be Nerchio, our red Zerg and the winner of game 2, or will it be Polt, our winner and aggressive Terran player from game 1? Stick around, guys, to find out. Game 3 of Nerchio versus Polt in just a moment.